2, 3, 4.
Hello and welcome to the NESN Soccer Podcast. I am Mark along with Marcus here once again in the NESN Digital Studios, bringing some soccer talk to you. And Marcus, we always do this at the end, but I want to do it at the beginning as well as the end. That to follow us and listen to every podcast, go to iTunes, search NESN, N-E-S-N, follow the page, and you will get every NESN Soccer podcast as well as every NESN podcast easily accessible on your iPhone, on your laptop, and whatever device you may use otherwise. So
also rate and review the podcast.
Rate and review, comment at MKOmard, at Mark D. Benz on
just
Twitter.
Do it on iTunes.
Don't blow us up. Or do.
Yeah, you can. But
You can. We'll probably delete the messages. That's fine. But let's talk today a little bit about Champions League. We got the round of 16 underway yesterday and Tuesday. Today is Thursday as we record this. With 4 more matches coming next week to round out the first legs. But we're just going to kind of run through each club and sort of biggest storylines surrounding the remaining Champions League clubs as it pertains to Champions League, as well as domestically, what they're trying to accomplish club-wise, maybe in cups and leagues, and how their coaches are doing, star players, all that stuff. But we're going to start with Paris Saint-Germain going to Man United, winning 2-0 against a Man United team that had sort of been on the rise, but I guess in reality hadn't been seriously tested since their new coach came. Their best win had been at Tottenham, where they won 1-0. But we also saw Tottenham,
where David De Gea was Superman that day and made 13 saves.
Yeah, so
just saying.
PSG without Neymar and without Edison Cavani, I guess led by Kylian Mbappe, with I think probably what will be maybe the most surprising single game of this round of 16 this year. This is the 2-0 win. Paul Pogba got a red card.
Were you surprised by it?
I was pretty surprised to see a 2-0 win.
One of
I guess I bought into the new Man United.
NESN colleagues asked me for a prediction, and anybody that's ever listened to this show knows how I feel about it. And I said, Man, you would blow it, just because they've been playing well for, I don't know, 6 weeks? No, 7 weeks, thereabouts, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over. But they really haven't played too many quote-unquote hard games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had a feeling that when PSG came to town, they would sort of pop that bubble that's been building and building. But what happened, I didn't exactly see coming, I guess.
Well, when we were talking about a podcast earlier in the week, I kind of jotted down Paul Pogba and maybe was ahead of myself saying, looks like he's in some of the best form of his career. And that's really saying a lot. And he's leading this Man United team under new managerial leadership. But of course, he gets sent off in the 89th minute.
Yeah.
Seemingly more out of frustration than anything else. Over not
Actually
being able to get anything.
I saw a video of it. And, well, first I saw a still image of his infraction. And I was like, ooh, that's terrible. But then I saw it in live motion, and yeah, it's pretty soft. But whatever, he still got sent off.
I guess so. That's the easy storyline. But what I really like, and something that we've talked about as our one of our items to look forward to in 2019, is the rise of Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
And in the absence of Neymar, scoring a goal, leading this PSG club in a big road European game, is just kind of a testament to him continuing to be the real deal, living up to the hype. And I think that's really the thing to be most excited about out of this match is just Kylian Mbappe is a guy that an entire team can lean on.
It's only a matter of time before he is FIFA Player of the Year and or Ballon d'Or winner. And performances like this, I didn't see the game, but he scored the second goal. Man United has never lost by 2 goals at home in a Champions League knockout game.
Wow.
No team has ever lost the first leg by 2 goals at home or 2-0 at home and progressed. Kylian Mbappe was at the center. I did see a highlight of his last goal, and it was, pace, power, technique, everything was there.
Mm-hmm. Well,
my point is, he is reaching a level, or has reached a level, a Messi, Ronaldo level.
Yeah.
How long he stays there and how long he keeps it is really what we're going to watch for. But in terms of unstoppability, I think he is just about there.
I like that you said that, and I don't think, you could spend a long time talking about it, but I think very few people, and there have been some, have reached that Messi-Ronaldo level in sort of the time of Messi-Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I think the most recent example is Mohamed Salah for 1 season. And now,
I guess.
What's so impressive about Messi and Ronaldo is that they maintained that level for over a decade.
Yeah.
And Salah, arguably, maybe not even fully, was almost there for a year, and although still very good, I think has dropped off of that. And Mbappe, what's great about him is he's so young. So in theory, you think he's going to get better and would be able to maintain that level for, let's say, I don't want to say a decade, but, for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And basically get as close as you can get to that. But, so what else do you take away from this match, maybe from a Man United perspective?
That they shouldn't have made Angel Di Maria mad. He had 2 assists, including the second one, which was right after a beer was thrown at him. And then he pretended to take a sip and threw the bottle away.
That was great. That was awesome.
And then kicked the ball into the goal mouth. Goal. Di Maria played 1 season at Man United. I think they bought him from Real Madrid, was it? I forget where they got him from. He did okay in the first half season. Then his house was burglarized, and he pretty much wanted out of Manchester. And the club didn't really want him. He fell out with Louis van Gaal, the manager at the time. My point is that Man United had a player who was world class, and treated him poorly and let him go, and it came back to haunt him.
Yeah,
or came back to haunt Man United. So that's something that I always love a little bit of irony.
Right. The beer thing was great. It was a great way to sort of handle it in, I guess, a professional way that also gives the oomph back to the fans.
Sure.
Yeah. And you have a little note in here about the Man United manager. Do you think...
Do you want to read the note, or?
Well, just if Man United doesn't
is
advance,
that because you're reluctant to pronounce Solskjaer?
It's very difficult.
Okay.
Solskjaer,
yeah.
If they don't advance, is he no longer a serious long-term option for manager?
Well, on Monday thereabouts, there was a report in a newspaper I won't mention that said the decision has been made that he's going to get the job, and they're just going to wait until the end of the season to announce it. If Man United goes out in the round of 16 and ends up, well, I don't think whatever happens in the FA Cup is going to change it. I think the Champions League elimination, which, you know, I would say is a near certainty at this point, won't determine what whether Solskjaer gets the job or not, because that wasn't necessarily part of the salvage mission that they hired him to perform. It's top 4 or bust in the Premier League. If Man United finishes top 4, he gets the job. If he doesn't, he won't get the job.
Yeah.
Fairly confident in that outcome.
Okay. I think we've spent enough time on PSG Man United. The other Tuesday match was Roma versus Porto.
Yeah.
Don't think we'll spend as much time on this one, but Roma won 2-1. Biggest story is Nicolo Zaniolo, 19-year-old Roman, he's not Roman, but Roma midfielder, attacking midfielder, scores twice. Youngest Italian player to score 2 goals in a Champions League match. Also saw a note that he's the youngest Roma player or Italian player to score 3 goals in Serie A.
Wow.
So a rising guy, very exciting player for Roma that has kind of broken through as an every match starter probably in the last 2 months. And only takeaway for Roma here is that they gave up a relatively late goal to Porto. That was unfortunate because they had defended very well pretty much the whole match. And they got a little unlucky. But at the end of the day, if we remember back to the draw for the round of 16, Roma was basically praying to draw Porto.
Yeah.
They got them. They got their home win. Now the job is go to Porto and basically score 1 away goal, and you probably get through.
Unless they concede twice.
Yeah, but
which I think Roma blew it at the end.
I think so too. It
yeah.
really was too bad.
That 79th minute goal, you could tell by the way Porto celebrated. Now again, I only saw the highlights, that they knew it was game on when they got that goal.
Oh yeah, huge goal.
Roma reached the semifinal last year. Won't happen again. And so there's a note in here, and I'll read it. If Roma goes out in the round of 16, what happens to their coach, Eusebio Di Francesco? He was treated like a mastermind
Not
10
too long
months ago.
Yeah.
And now what happens to him? Same as Solskjaer.
Yes.
Get in the Champions League, keep the job. Don't get in the Champions League, don't keep the job.
Yeah, and right now Roma is in a 3-way tie for 5th place in Serie A, and those 5th place teams are like 2 points behind the 4th place team.
All right.
So it's all very tight.
And they have to improve.
Yeah, they have to improve. Roma already eliminated from Coppa Italia, and if they were to be eliminated from Champions League, I would think they would turn things around in Serie A to kind of secure that 4th spot.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, this kind of was a reverse story last year in Champions League for Roma. They got a late goal versus Barcelona on the road,
Right.
which ultimately, with their miracle comeback, helped them defeat Barcelona in the quarterfinals. Albeit it was a greater deficit, but it was kind of the same idea. So we'll kind of see what happens with Roma Porto in a couple of weeks.
I think they've blown it.
I think that it was a misstep, and you know the thing is, their goal they surrendered came 5 minutes after they had scored their 2nd goal.
Yeah, they've blown it.
And their teenage star has the 2 goals, and it's a big party at the Stadio Olimpico right now. Is a lapse of focus. But Italian teams are great at defending, and Roma's no different. And I think that they can go to Porto and park the bus and come out with not allowing any goals, hopefully.
I think they've blown it. Moving on.
Moving on. You want to set it up? No?
Sure.
All right.
Tottenham beat Dortmund 3-0 without Harry Kane, without Dele Alli.
Tough.
Dortmund came in with the best defensive record in the competition in the group stage and laid an egg in the second half. I didn't see the game, but Son Heung-min, who is in the form of his life, scored the first goal. I think that's now 10 goals he scored in his career against Dortmund. Certified Dortmund killer. Jan Vertonghen turned into LeBron James in the second half. I think he had a goal and an assist. And yeah, I think what Tottenham has done is booked a place in the quarterfinals with arguably their best result of the season.
Great result for Tottenham. Finally making serious noise in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And
they're not that far out in the Premier League, too.
No. And yeah, I mean, without Harry Kane, without Dele Alli.
Yeah. I thought when those two went down, Tottenham would would fall apart.
Definitely was the storyline.
That did not happen because Son came back early from the Asian Cup, or I should say South Korea was eliminated earlier than you would expect, and he has just been on fire ever since he's come back. So I was having a debate with a friend of mine yesterday. Is he the best Asian player ever? And he's up there. He's in the conversation. I put Park Ji-sung, who played for Man United years ago. I thought he was a little bit of a higher level, higher stature. But Son is a goal scorer and a goal creator. Park Ji-sung was a water carrier for the Rooneys and the Ronaldos of the world. So this is back when they were younger.
Right.
So I don't know. Is Son the best player to come out of Asia? Certainly in the conversation.
Yeah, I would kind of think so. And I'm seeing South Korea lost to Qatar in the Asia Cup quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of a letdown. But
well, Qatar won the Asian Cup.
That's pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting off topic. From the Dortmund point of view, I think this is a big letdown, but I think Dortmund also took a chance because I think, at least in the United States, there has been enough attention on Christian Pulisic pretty much losing his starting role to Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
And I said this to you earlier, and I realized I was incorrect, that Pulisic and Sancho have not been in the same starting 11 together on Dortmund. It hasn't happened. They've played at the same time as one is substituted on.
Right.
But it's never been for even an entire half at the same time. So this was the first time that ever happened. And obviously the result was not good, and we don't like to get too technical here, mainly at risk of, I can't claim to be a soccer technical expert. But it seemed like that Sancho and Pulisic are attacking midfielders, and there wasn't much defense in the midfield for Dortmund, allowing Tottenham to pretty much have a lot of possession of the ball in their half and ultimately win 3-0. But I think it was kind of a...
Well, Pulisic only started because Marco Reus was injured. And yeah, that's it. Otherwise, Reus would have started, Sancho would have started, Pulisic would have been on the bench.
Well, maybe that's, I don't know, just certainly something that I guess just doesn't really work for them. Is for them both to be playing at the same time, which is...
No.
I guess I was, as a sort of someone that follows Pulisic's career, was waiting for, like, why can't we just play Sancho and Pulisic together, and is this something that can't even be tried? And now it's been tried, and not such a good idea, apparently.
Yeah, but basic sports truism is if you take your best player out of the lineup, you're probably going to suffer.
Yeah. All right, so Ajax lost to Real Madrid 2-1. Biggest headline out of this is VAR bringing back Ajax goal. I never know how to talk about VAR. The goal was disallowed. It seemed to be the proper call. Real Madrid.
Yeah, the whole point of VAR is we don't sit and argue about it. And,
Right, exactly.
What I did like was that the Champions League Twitter account put out an explanation over why they disallowed Nicolas Tagliafico's headed goal. And it said the referee identified that Dusan Tadic, his teammate, was in an offside position and interfered with the goalkeeper, preventing him from being able to play the ball as the header was made. This was in line with VAR protocol, and the goal was correctly overturned and the free kick given for offside. End of discussion.
There it is.
VAR. It's like goal line technology. Once the robot says that's what it is, well, I guess VAR is not a robot, but excuse me, there's just an extra level of efficiency that, not efficiency, justice.
Justice.
Yeah, justice. So Real Madrid probably will go through to the quarterfinal at Ajax's expense because Marco Asensio scored a late goal. VAR.
I think this is also, and not that Real Madrid was disappearing into the mists or anything, but a good statement, winning road Champions League knockout stages game. To say,
I don't know.
What?
Ajax hit the post 2 or 3 times, and you know it's Real Madrid could have lost that game.
Well, at the end of the day, Real Madrid,
And they won.
they won, and now they come home, and I just think it was kind of a bit of a statement, not some gigantic statement, not a yell from the mountaintops, but kind of a silent reminder. Real Madrid still here, likely going to be in the quarterfinals of the Champions League with as good a chance as most to advance to the Final Four, which is where we're used to seeing them. So despite exits by Ronaldo, you know, it's not big enough to knock down such a big club.
Yeah, if they go out in the quarterfinal, you're going to have to say the opposite of what you just said.
Yeah. It's funny how it all teeters on just that one round.
Yeah.
It really is a huge
I'd
leap.
say semifinals without Ronaldo, that's okay. Quarterfinals, not okay.
Yeah. All right, so those are the games that happened. 4 more games happen next week to round out the first leg.
Yep.
Lyon versus Barcelona. I don't really even want to talk too much about this.
Yeah, Barcelona.
Barcelona will win. Though they will win. I mean, over the 2 legs, they will win. It would be.
Yeah, probably.
I'll just say it would be a bigger upset than anything we've seen in the past year if Lyon were to defeat Barcelona in the round of 16.
Sure.
And then to keep kind of knocking them out, Schalke faces Man City. Schalke is really struggling in Bundesliga. So to have to deal with Man City now for 2 legs is just kind of a headache for him, and too bad. So again, I think Man City will win this easily.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are very easy picks you just made.
Yeah, so let's move on to the harder picks.
Liverpool Bayern.
Yeah.
I say Liverpool wins at Anfield.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, will they concede? Because that's going to color everything that happens in the second leg.
I think Liverpool's magic is still kind of flickering. And Bayern's magic, although they're still in second place in Bundesliga.
Yeah.
And you could say they've been playing a little better, but they lost to Bayer Leverkusen at the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a glaring. I honestly thought they were going to go on some sort of monster run and legitimately win in all competitions like 10 to 15 games in a row and just destroy the field on some sort of march to the Champions League semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
Not so convinced anymore. Even though they've been winning, they've been conceding goals. And I still like Liverpool's magic and Klopp and Salah and the whole thing. And I like Liverpool to keep that going and take down Bayern Munich over the two legs. It'll be close, but Bayern's defense, I think, and Liverpool's attack will kind of create a perfect storm to get Bayern tossed.
Yeah, could happen.
Could happen.
Maybe not. I don't know.
It's not, surprisingly, Liverpool Bayern isn't even what I'm most excited about. And we talked about this when the field was set.
Made, yeah.
Atletico Madrid versus Juventus. A lot of different storylines, but I think it might even sneak up on maybe the casual fan that, like, oh, what's so great about Atletico Madrid? Like, this is could be the highest quality soccer that we're going to see of the knockout stages. It's possible.
Yeah, it starts with their coach, who just today signed a 3-year contract extension, which I have a feeling he'll see out because he's just become synonymous with the club, and he runs the team maybe not perfectly, but about as close as they can, given his the budget and resources that are available to him. So Diego Simeone will try and stop Cristiano Ronaldo, which he did a few times against when Ronaldo was at Real Madrid. But Ronaldo has not missed a beat playing for Juventus, so that will be also one of the big things to watch.
Yes. I think at the end of the day, Atletico just might not be enough to stick with Juventus, but they're going to give them a great fight. And it's just from an excited to watch a soccer match and have it be really, really good, I think this is going to be great. And whatever goals are scored, it will require great play to make that happen.
Right.
And so I guess I'll guarantee an incredible goal in this two legs. Something nuts. 30 yards out, just firecracker, Mandzukic or something, a crazy header. It'll be very, very fun to watch, and I'm just very excited for it.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
So it takes a lot to get you excited, Marcus. All right, anything else from Champions League?
No, I think we beat it to a pulp.
We did, and we've been going for about 30 minutes, and we just have, I guess, one game of the weekend.
There are no games this weekend. Well,
technically,
yeah,
a game of next week.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is worth mentioning that this week is a depressing slate of soccer matches, and nothing really to get too excited for. Premier League is off because the FA Cup is in action.
I thought this weekend might produce something that I'd want to watch, but
nothing really. There's some Serie A, but a lot of people aren't interested in that.
I mean, I'll find something, but there's nothing that just jumps out. And
it's too bad. In the middle of the winter, only so much you can do. But FA Cup round of 16, 5th round. We were looking at the matchups and realized there's only 7 Premier League teams left.
Yeah.
And it's the round of 16, which means over half the field is non-Premier League teams, which I guess we were disappointed in at first, but maybe that's something to get excited about with sort of Cinderella runs in the FA Cup.
There will be some Cinderella action. It's
kind of the whole reason the FA Cup is cool. So, but Chelsea and Man United do play each other on Monday, which is the one game we were referencing. So I guess in general, watch the FA Cup this weekend, but Chelsea Man United is the biggest names going.
Yeah. And now that Jose Mourinho is gone, I don't think the game will be super exciting. If I don't get to watch it, very closely, I won't shed too many tears.
Okay. And all right. Any lasting notes?
No.
All right. Well, if you want to follow us, be sure to follow us on iTunes by searching NESN, as we mentioned at the top of the show. We will re-mention it here. Go to iTunes, search NESN to follow every NESN soccer podcast, and comment, tweet about us, retweet, rate, review, all that good stuff. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the Champions League. It's the best soccer in the world. So don't let it go to waste.